Hello everyone, it's Luke from Wide RC, and today we're going to be going through the Traxxas website and having a look at the new X-Maxx that they've just come out with only a few hours ago. And I'm just going to be giving you my opinion on it and what I think of it. And I'd really like to see what you guys think of it as well in the comments below. So make sure you check out the website and have a look for yourself. So if you come down here, you can see they're talking about brutal strength, extreme power, massive fun. And they're basically saying that they've got a new design that they've engineered, and it's still got all the 4x4 and everything like that. It's still huge, and it's just awesome apparently. So it's also meant to be its successor to the Maxx Legacy, so that might mean that they could just add it on and slowly phase out the E-Maxx and T-Maxx and things like that, by either making more X-Maxxes and newer X-Maxx, or they could just keep the E-Maxxes and have an X-Maxx as an additional one. Or they might even make a smaller X-Maxx, maybe make like an XS Max or something like that, extra small Max, I don't know. Because although the size is great, it might also be its disadvantage because it is such a big car and a lot of people might not want something that's that big. So I think a smaller version of it would be perfect, still keeping all of what it's got in there, rather than doing what they did with the Summit and taking away pretty much what made the Summit a Summit. So hopefully that should be good. And then coming down here, it talks again about how big the size is, and you can kind of see it compared to what a person might look like next to it, and it's pretty big. And of course then it's talking about the power again, and it's got a Velenion 1600 XL big block motor to give it all that power that it needs. And it's also got self-righting here, which is pretty interesting. And so basically what that is, if you're driving and the car flips over, like most of us have experienced, instead of having to run over and turn it back over, you can hit the button and it actually does that for you. So that's pretty cool. I'd say it probably uses a gyroscope or something like that, but that is going to be pretty awesome. So going further down, it actually gives you a video of the car in action. I'm not going to play that now, you can watch that later. I'll put all the links to the video and the website in the description, so you guys can check that out. But then here there's just a little slideshow going through all its features. So it talks about the motor here, the new, well it's not actually new, the radio system 2.4 GHz with the TQI, which is a Traxxas standard. Now, and then the stability management, which was kind of talked about earlier. The self-righting thing, I would say, is probably part of the stability management, but that'll just make it easier for perhaps less experienced drivers or people that just don't really feel like having much of a challenge and just kind of cruising about. That might be something that you're into, but yeah, that just basically helps the car be more controllable when you're driving it, and a lot of people like that, so that's a pretty cool incorporation. And I'd say that you'd be able to turn that on and off, and if you can't now, there'll be some sort of switch or something that you can do that will come out. And then of course again, that kind of reiterating about the toughness of the car, the driveline protection with those skid plates, and I have to say the car does look pretty tough. Like, it looks like good quality stuff all in there that should protect it pretty well. And then the self-righting thing, we talked about that earlier, but this is just a little clip of it in action here. So it flips over, and the press of the button there will just make it flip back over. There you go, so it's backing off. And of course, the Traxxas standard again is waterproof. Everyone loves being able to drive through water, and this is a really good addition to have. This was another interesting feature actually, the clipless body mounting, and by the looks of things it's just got a sort of latch on there, so that you can, instead of having to undo clips, you just pop up the latch. Obviously this is all new stuff, so not quite sure on how reliable or how tough that's going to be, but only time will tell. But it looks pretty good as far as we can see. So next up, the new battery trays. The batteries go in there pretty easily, connects up and closes back. They look pretty good, but I'd be interested to see the strength of these plastic tabs here. and to see how they hold up, but I'm sure they'd be fine if this truck is all about toughness. So next is the comparison between the E-Max and the X-Max. I don't have an E-Max, but I know that's a pretty big car, and that is looking pretty big right next to it. It dwarfs it a little bit, so again, it's just talking about how big the car is and how much of an awesome car it should be. And then yeah, they're talking about the new chassis design, which we were talking about earlier, and yeah, it kind of looks like the Slash, the actual chassis of it, but it does look pretty nice and it should hold up pretty well. So again, I'll let you read through all the details of that, just summing it up here. And this is the new motor, an ESC. It doesn't actually talk much about the ESC. I'm not even sure what it's called, but that should supply plenty of power to the X-Max and keep it going for a while. And that motor is actually brushless, so just in case you're wondering, that's a waterproof brushless motor with ESC. So scrolling down even further, we have some of the details in the car, and this is a little bit of an interactive thing that they've got going, so I won't spend too much time on this because you can have a good look for yourself. Basically, you can click on these little red dots and it just tells you a little bit about the car in there wherever you click the dot, so that's pretty cool. And this was what kind of made me think it was a bit more like a Yeti, because the Yeti does have really big shocks like that kind of size. So yeah, obviously it's all speculation, so if I'm wrong, then don't be going, ah, you're wrong, because I don't know. I know as much as anyone else apart from Traxxas. They know everything. But yeah, so then coming mid-December, $799.95, which is pretty much $800 really. So $800 US coming in December. Obviously, if you're out of the US, it'll cost more or even less depending on where you are. Not sure if it'd cost less though. But yeah, so then you've just got some more photos here of that, if you're about that, and down just the last bit, there's just all the specs and features and whatnot of everything there. So you've got all your height, motor specs, ESC specs, features, what's included. So that's a bit of a read. I'll let you guys go through that. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you want to see more, make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video.